So it never really clicked with me. I understood the benefits of meditation, but I didn't understand why I was doing it until I understood this. And when it clicked with me that the purpose of meditation, specifically breathing meditation, when you're focusing on your breathing, is becoming aware of something that is normally completely unconscious. Does that make sense? Normally, the breathing, when you put your awareness and your attention into something that lies in here, you go into a meditative state, you go into a trance, so to speak, you go into the unconscious, but you become aware of that which is unconscious, and you start to bring it to light. And that, well, I mean, you guys understand the benefits of meditation. The centeredness that it gives you, the ability to have perspective and see more in every moment and be in touch with this connection all the time. Remember, the higher self is light and is love all the time. So, there's a woman named Dion Fortune who wrote books in the early 1900s, an incredible author on mysticism and esoterics. And she had a quote that said, "An initiate," meaning someone who's on the spiritual path, "is one whose higher self looks out at us through his own eyes." I love that quote as a way to express this process of becoming this. So, in Huna, they talk about blocks to the flow of energy. The blocks that we experience in life, they call black bags. Anybody do body work here? Like massage? Oh, anybody else? Well, I'm sure you can attest to this, and so back me up here. Many times when I've talked to people who do body work, they say that as they're working with someone, sometimes they'll come across a knot or a spot on their body, and the person will have an emotional response. Yeah? That happen? It happens quite often. Why is that? Well, in Huna, they say that we actually take emotional situations. Say we experience something as a child or even as an adult that we don't know how to process. We don't have the emotional resources to deal with it yet. And so we take it and they say we put it in a little black bag. And then we store that black bag somewhere on our body. The black bag looks something similar to this. So we would store these black bags on our body in places. Now there's actually a great deal of research and evidence. Where's Stella? Stella was just talking about this when she was saying that she found that there were consistent things that happen with women who develop breast cancer, right? So there are specific things that take place when people will take a black bag and they will store it someplace in particular in their body. And we tend to sometimes develop even physiological conflict or blocks in that spot where it is stored. It's not just that, though, because we're talking about beliefs. We're talking about things like money doesn't grow on trees, or I can't have a successful relationship because of blank, or whatever it is. People have these beliefs that they've equated in their mind that are not necessarily true. They're just things that they've held on to. And they're deep in the unconscious. Now, how do we let them go? Okay. Some of the stuff that I'm going to teach you guys, I'm going to go into the technique now, so we're going to get an exercise and that'll wake you guys up a little bit. So, some of the things I'm going to go into, I'm going to just tell you to do it. I'm not going to have time to explain why. So you guys are just going to have to trust me. Go along with the process, experiment with it, try it on your own, and see if it works for you. what I'm going to talk about is one of the fastest and most surefire ways that I've ever experienced to release and resolve internal conflict, to let go of black bags. And this deals with, I'm going to draw this. Okay. Should have drawn this beforehand. Give me a second, guys. Okay. I'm sure this makes total sense to you guys now. Now, so here we have the conscious mind. This is the conscious mind, and this is a progression of moving down into what we call the void. Remember on one of the early slides, or one of the first things that I drew here, was I showed you we have a thought. So remember we have ugh that's up here in the conscious mind, and then a thought that's way down here, that specific thought. The specific thought is actually above the void. So if we look at the model for the three cells, if we look at the model for the three cells, you can see that the conscious mind as we move down into the unconscious mind, at the lower levels of the unconscious mind, we move into the higher self. And the higher self is pure love. It is pure consciousness. And one of the other aspects of the higher self, of light and of love and of energy, is that it knows only truth. It knows only truth. And what did we say right at the beginning? That fear and darkness and all of those things are illusions. In a way, they are lies. They are not true. So, what happens when we take a conflict, a thought, ugh, down from the conscious mind, all the way down into the lower parts of the unconscious, is that it is brought to light. It's brought to light, and it becomes apparent that it is merely an illusion.